I graduated Florida State University in 2006. I'm kind of dating my age here. After that, I had little odds and end jobs, and then ultimately I found intraoperative neural monitoring. It was absolutely something that meshed with me because in school I was pre-med, and I was looking for something where I had that kind of professional responsibility in the medical field without becoming a physician. So at the time, I was studying for my MCATs, and since graduating school, you need to find employment, you gotta find work. And I found this field. I wanna say that it found me. And the company then would train me for a period of time and then introduce me into the field. And I had every plans to go back to med school and continue on that path. But coming into this position opened up my eyes to, endless possibilities within the medical field. I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. All these things that weren't necessarily explained to me because everybody just knows, doctor, lawyer, dentist. And there were so many available, there were so many opportunities that were made available to me coming into this field. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna do the 2-year, because at the time there was a 2-year commitment, education commitment. So we would go through didactic training and all the hands-on stuff, and the company would spend tons of capital to try and get me to be at a level of proficiency to do the monitoring and help out patients. And 2 years didn't sound like a long time, and I took the risk, and I never really looked back. So I continued my career with a previous company coming out of school. This was in the Tampa market, actually. Met phenomenal people, doctors, surgeons, anesthesiologists, nursing, professionals. Just really started to grow my footprint in my career from being a trainee and working my way up quickly to becoming a clinical manager. And there came a time where I wanted to be closer to home, which Tampa wasn't my original home. It was my temporary home, and I still love the Tampa market and all the good people that I met there. But Fort Lauderdale is where I grew up and where my family was. And at the time, we decided to also take another risk, which obviously paid out very well. And my wife and I decided to move to Fort Lauderdale. We joined another company there, and I continued my career in IONM. Also moving up the ranks and skill set, because for me, it wasn't just a job, because I had decided that I wanted to continue this career. And the medical school route never really panned out, not to say panned out, but I decided not to take that route any longer and to continue my career within IONM, because the company that I was with, I saw tremendous growth opportunities. I wanted to be in the medical field and medical profession, but also have some business experience, which they also helped to provide. And coming in from the Tampa market to Fort Lauderdale with a different company, kind of had to start fresh, but also quickly became a clinical manager, leading clinical teams, and also taking on more of a business role with that particular company. And at the time, I want to say, I don't actually remember the time frame, but it was around 2016 where we were acquired by Specialty Care. And just like with any acquisition, you're so used to working in an environment, and then some big new change happens, and it's like, what's it going to be like? Nobody knows what Specialty Care is going to be like. And it turns out to be probably one of the best things that could ever happen to our company. We basically started as this small mom and pop, it's not really small mom and pop, but in grand scheme of Specialty Care terms, it was a small mom and pop company, and then we were just compelled into the stratosphere with Specialty Care. As far as, our benefits got better, the work-life balance got better, aspects of growth got better. We had now had these extra avenues where we can go Clinicians could essentially take a fork in the road in their career to decide whether they wanted to go to management, whether they wanted to be, clinical instructors or education sides. There were all these additional extra layers that were open to us. And I continued down the clinical manager route and continued my growth with specialty care. I am now the area clinical manager, which was recently promoted. I've been a clinical manager in this area for quite a long time, but the right opportunity presented itself and I jumped on top of it. And brand new, there's no manual for all of these things, right? So you really need someone who's going to mentor you, to have your best interest in mind, to kind of show you the way of how these processes work and how to lead specialized teams, highly skilled people. And I feel that specialty care has definitely given me that avenue and that hand-holding to try and get me to the next level. And they see the potential in me to lead these clinical teams into the future. And I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity for doing that. And I've been in this industry in IOM for over 17 years. And I look forward to every single day helping patients, leading my clinical teams, how I can do better by them. Everything is just kind of a work in progress. But also I went back to talk about the business aspect of things and how I had the mix of clinical responsibilities and also business development. I'm not sure how much of that I touched on prior, but there are just so many opportunities for everything. It's just really, really key that anyone coming in this field keeps an open mind. Take every single opportunity that's given to you. You never really know where it's going to lead. If you think that one door is closed, you never really know that 3 days later another door is going to open for you. You just have to just take the risks, stick with the things, build your clinical skill set. As you know, the more things you learn is the more valuable you become, and there's just so many opportunities.